Hello students, welcome to the lecture of Discrete Mathematics. Today I, Dr. Manju Khurana, wants to give you some idea about this subject. In this lecture, first we will study who is the target audience. After that we study why we read out discrete mathematics. And after that we will study what is discrete mathematics. And in discrete mathematics, I will give you some idea about what are discrete objects and what are continuous objects so that you can get in-depth knowledge about this subject. That is, this particular discrete mathematics will contain discrete objects instead of continuous objects. And at the end, I will give you some idea about what is the course syllabus we are going to cover in this subject. Now, who is the target audience? Undergraduate students who have discrete mathematics in their syllabus. They are the first target of this discrete mathematics. Students who are preparing for the GATE and other competitive exams like for other public sector exams, ISRO, DRDO, in each and every exam, portion of mathematics is more. So that means our target should be clear. Means when we want to clear such kind of exams, we have to concentrate on the mathematics subject. Number 3, students who want to learn competitive programming. Number 4, everyone who want to learn discrete mathematics as a complete subject, they can also go for that, and maybe a small subset of their subject. For example, researchers are doing their research and they need just a small portion of the discrete mathematics. For example, if they need in their research set theory, then they will study only a particular portion of that particular subject. So that's what about the target audience. Moving further, why we study discrete mathematics? It develops your mathematical thinking. It improves your problem solving ability. Discrete mathematics is important, is the fundamental subject for the other subjects also like compiler designing, databases, computer security, operating system, automata theory, etc. So it's the very fundamental for every subject, we can say that. Number 4, we can solve many number of problems using discrete mathematics. Now I'm giving you the brief list of problems which you can solve it using discrete mathematics. And these problems are very limited. I'm just giving you the idea about the which kind of problems we can solve that using discrete mathematics. See, for example, sorting the list of integers. Number 2, finding the shortest path from your home to your friend's home. Draw a graph with two conditions. We can draw the graph with two conditions. You are not allowed to lift your pen. You are not allowed to repeat it. Now I am performing this exercise using a pen. See it here. I am going to start it from this point. From this point, I am drawing the graph without lifting my pen and without repeating any edge. So this is the example for graph. Now, how we can say that in this point, we are not lifting the pen, we are not repeating the edge. So I'm just pressing only once and this is complete graph get removed from the screen. See it here. So this is the best way. Now, moving with the next example, how many different combinations of passwords are possible with just 8 alphanumeric characters? And next application is encrypt a message and deliver it to your friend, and you don't want anybody to read that message except your friend. So these are the very limited number of applications which we are talking about. We can solve it using discrete mathematics. Even we can solve it more number of problems with the help of discrete mathematics. See, what is discrete mathematics? It is the study of discrete objects. Now, what is the meaning of discrete here? Discrete means distinct or not connected. Next, it is not a branch of mathematics. It is rather a description of a set of branches that have one common property, that is, they are discrete and not continuous. Now, next, I will tell you about the difference of discrete versus continuous, because in this case, what we will study, the whole world of mathematics is divided it into two realms. What are those? Discrete versus continuous. Example is natural numbers. We are taking the example for discrete, and real numbers we are taking the example for continuous. Natural numbers. What are the natural numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till infinite. Now, why we calling it as discrete? Because in between 1 to 2, there is no natural number. Means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. No natural number is there. A fixed gap is there. Discrete gap is there. Observe the gap. Means after 1, next natural number is 2. After 2, next natural number is 3. Next natural number is 4. And so on. Now, I am taking one example. For example, we want to plot a graph for y is equal to x, where x belongs to natural numbers and y also belongs to the natural numbers. Now, see, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. In this case, when we are talking about this, see, when we are having the value of x is equals to 1, then y is also equals to 1. So that means our point is this one. This is the point. So next is when x value is 2, then y is also 2. When x value is 3, y is also 3. When x value is 4, y is also 4. When x is equals to 5, y is also equals to 5. When x is 6, then y is also equals to 6. Now observe the gap. That is the major point. Please see it here. Why we call it as major point? Because after 1, next value is 2. In between, there is no such line. Now I am coming to the continuous side. See, we are taking the example here, real numbers. So in between 0 and 1, we have infinite number of real numbers. For example, I am talking about 0 and 1. In between 0 and 1, we have so many real numbers like 0.001, 0.4 times 01, 0.10001 and so on. And again, I am plotting the graph here, y is equals to x, where x belongs to real numbers, y also belongs to real numbers. Now see, in this case, in between 1 and 2, there are many real numbers which exist in between. So there is the major point is continuous line, no gap is there. So the next is, see, second point for the difference is digital clock is discrete in nature. See, why we call it as discrete in nature? There is no continuous time. Transition from one time to another is sharp. See, this is for the hour, this is for the minute, this is for the hour, this is for the minute and this is for the second. 10 hour, 42 minutes, 57 seconds. And the next is from one time to another time is very sharp. Means after 57, next value is 58. That is very, very sharp. Second point related to the continuous objects. Analog clock is continuous in nature. See, here is the analog clock. In analog clock, hour, minute and second hands move smoothly over time. Now see, in this case, consider the clock where minute hand, hour hand and second hand sweeps around the time smoothly. So that's what about this discrete and continuous. Now after seeing the difference of discrete and continuous, I will give you some idea about the syllabus which we are going to study under this subject, that is under discrete mathematics. So, the syllabus about this course structure, we can say that number 1 point is set theory. We will study set theory in detail. Then we will study function. After that, relation. Then propositional logic. Then graph theory. Then proof techniques and counting. Then group theory. And that's what about the complete syllabus which we are going to study in our further lectures. In the next lecture, I'm going to start with the set theory. After completing set theory, we will focus it on function, then relation, and so on. Now you will understand that who is the target audience, why we study discrete mathematics, and what is discrete mathematics. Thank you. Thank you very much.